What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. My name is Joao from Joao FC, and today we're taking a look at some of the best Premier League right backs of FIFA 21. Before we get into the content, make sure to drop a like, hit the notification bell when you subscribe, and comment down below what kind of video you would like next. Who is your right back that you're currently using? What do you look for in a fullback? And whatever you want to ask under the sun. So for fullbacks, the Premier League is an interesting place. For right backs, you have Kyle Walker, one of the most meta right backs, the Ferland Mendy of right backs. To be honest, you have Hector Bellerin's league objective card. I kind of did him halfway, to be honest, and he has kind of like a questionable high-low work rate. You have Trent Alexander-Arnold, a right back with 87 passing, which I find to be more interesting when you play him in a 4-4-2 as a center mid. I'm not sure why more people aren't doing that. Maybe they aren't finding center mids that can plug in and play the role at right back. But before that, we'll take a look. So this Trent card is 3 more pace, sharpened stats across the board. Trent, most people put a shadow on him as a right back. I think he's a really good attacking right back, especially when you look at that crossing. Look at that short passing, that long passing, that medium high attacking work rates actually work very well for a modern fullback. For a fullback in the game that presses up high. My only problem with Trent is that sometimes I think his acceleration isn't that good enough, especially on the goal card. This one is a little bit better. Trent also doesn't turn that well. He's a little bit stiff when you dribble. I really like his team of the season card last year. This one I do believe isn't the best at dribbling because of the agility, balance, and body type. But I think if you plonk him, is that a word? If you put him in a center mid position or center defensive mid position, I think he can do a worldie for you. He doesn't have to finish, but his passing range is really cool. Stamina is great for that position. Doesn't have the strength, but looks more like a deep lying playmaker as he grows and evolves as a player. For me personally, I am not convinced as a right back, and that's why he doesn't really hold his price in this function. For right back, you want someone who can turn well, who can track back, who has high work rate, so he can do the necessary defensive work at the back. High medium like this is okay, but not the best. This Trent card is kind of like fodder at this point, but I can see him doing a role like the previous card I talked about, but for a cheaper option. If you go on here to Kyle Walker is probably the most meta right back defensive wise that you can use. Not the best at dribbling, but with an anchor cam style. Most people even use him at center back. He is very physical in his challenges and stuff. High work rates is the right work rate. The only problem with Kyle Walker is always 66 agility. For a fullback, I think when you're dancing on the wings with those Neymars and Mbappes, you want to be able to jockey, to keep up, to move from side to side. So agility at 66 is a concern. However, Kyle Walker's more than needed. Physical presence, 6 feet. And his 89 strength enable him to be, one of the best gold fullbacks in the game. Attacking wise, he's decent. 78 shot passing is fine. 81 crossing is okay. I think the major issue is always the dribbling on this card. You're not gonna be shooting with him, so who cares? Defense is okay with him. A lot of people play him at center back. He's like an upgraded Wan-Bissaka at this point. Kyle Walker has my stamp of approval. I think the best gold right back in the Premier League by far. A close contender. Aspilicueta, don't even talk about it. Ricardo Pereira is okay with a shadow. Kyle Walker an anchor. So Ricardo Pereira, I think he's a little bit better in the dribble. So he has a 3-star skills, 4-star weak foot. I think he's pretty agile, compared to Kyle Walker. I think the body type, plays a little role in that. Passing wise, he's really good. I'm okay with Ricardo Pereira, man. I think he's very good. The right back I'm currently using for my budget team is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I know Man U fans are not the most satisfied with him going forward, and he doesn't have the best stamina, but I play a three at the back formation, and this guy is doing bits for me. I think stamina wise, of course, he could be better, but for a high medium work rated player, I think he does. He's one of the best, you know, right backs. But if you're looking for a center back who could possibly do what Wan-Bissaka is doing, the freeze card, which is just stupid in price. I don't even care. I didn't include in the other video. If you're going for that player, this player or even Joe Gomez would do the work for you price wise. This player though, I'm still really happy with, I don't even think he's that bad dribbling wise. The 85 agility, is pretty okay. Dribbling 82, 77 ball control. He doesn't really feel stiff on the ball, which is weird. I think his passing is something that I've noticed from time to time. Well, that's his weakest asset, but his defensive output more than matches everything as long as you're playing at as much as you're, even more so when you're playing a 3 at the back system. Going on from there, we have Hector Bellerin's League objective card. The card's biggest problem is the high-low work rate. I'm sorry, you put stay back while attacking. This low defensive work rate doesn't just sit well with me, man. But I know his acceleration is very strong. His dribbling is very, very, very decent. Very good, in fact. His stamina is okay. His passing is good. If you're an Arsenal fan, he's great. He links to Team of the Week Pepe. Alexander Arnold would link to a Mohamed Salah. Kyle Walker, Riyad Mahrez, Ricardo Pereira. Yeah, so this Hector Bellerin card, I think if you're already doing him, if you're a Premier League team, I think it's great. Don't just do him for the camera, the dynamic image. I think he is worth a shot too, honestly, because he's an objective player. On the market, I could see him being 80k, 90k maybe, because of the links, the Arsenal, the Arsenal logo. I don't really see that much faults with him other than the defensive work rate. So yeah, I think he's worth a shout, even though that can be a bit concerning at times. Nelson Semedo and Joao Cancelo's gold card. I'm very, 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 very. I give my sign of trusty for that. Where is Nelson Semedo? Semedo's always been a very meta option, always a famous backline for Mendy, Varane, Joe Gomez, and Nelson Semedo. I think if Semedo had let right wing link to Messi still, I think he'd be maybe more pricey. 2,400 for him is a steal. I think at this stage of the game, just go with him. If you want to invest more coins in your other players, I think Semedo's going to be more than fine. Look at that. High, medium defensive work rate, just like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But I think he's a little bit better dribble-wise. Has the skills as well, which I think is a little more important than the weak foot. As a fullback, I think his strength is good. His defending is great as well. 86 interceptions, 85 defensive awareness. His passing is okay. Around Wan-Bissaka's range. And that is, almost about it. This Cancelo card is only worth its price right now because Road to the Final hype prices are just so inflated. I think Man City will go deep in, but if this is a year I wouldn't bet on Man City. I don't think their Premier League form is that convincing, honestly, this season. So, I would say steer clear away from this card, to be honest. I think there's a lot of high price on this. I would probably only pay like 100k for this card, 150k. I think the Premier League isn't a league that is very limited in right back options, so. Yeah, I wouldn't really do this card, but Cancelo for birthday Cancelo of last year, they were always very fun attacking players, and that is what I kind of prefer more sometimes. So I think it's worth a shout. Shadow, Anchor, it's fine. The only problem is the strength, but the 94 stamina, man, is such a godsend. So I think Anchor is fine. Going on from there, I don't think there's much else to say. I can see Semedo, getting an inform, but I would probably buy the inform and not just invest in the OTW version of the player. Yeah, Coufal is a very interesting card. Auri and Doherty, I won't go for. Hector Bellerin is okay. If you're going for a really, really cheap team, I think Yedlin's fine. This card is quite interesting. 5'9", stocky. He looks an exciting player, honestly. Because of that physical with a shadow, I think he's okay at least. Yeah, if you're looking for this range, I think you can't really be wrong. But if I were you, I'd probably just go for Semedo at this point. And yeah, I think that covers almost all the fullbacks. So what you want to get is agility, a little bit of passing range, defense. Pace is the most important, 95 pace at least. Stamina is so important as well. You don't know how much stamina, fullbacks burn throughout the game. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for sticking around. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.